Partition destabilized the subcontinent by dividing what was once upon a time known as Akhand Hindustan, which existed thousands of years before the two religions which came subsequently, Islam and Christianity, and then through a militant, forcible conversion, created schisms in this society. Before Islam and Christianity came to India, Hindustan had never seen religious intolerance and divisions. Parsis had come, Jews had come, Syrian Christians had come, even Arab Mopla Muslims, as they were called, came to Kerala. This subcontinent, which was then Akhand Hindustan, never knew of a case of books of other religions being burnt or inquisitions being held. That was the tradition. But this brutality that followed after Islam came to the subcontinent, and Christianity through the British rule, which demeaned the native civilization and concocted Indian history to demoralize the Indian and demean his identity. Partition thus became inevitable, and then it followed religious cleansing. Bangladesh had 32% Hindus in 1947. Today it's down to 7%. Same thing in Pakistan. And therefore, this religious cleansing led to communal rioting, a ghetto mentality, and on top of it all, we found many countries outside egging on the people within this country, as you can see in Kashmir, even in Kerala, where 5 Shariat courts have come to replace dispensing justice from the high courts. That brings me to the third defining destabilization that's going on in the subcontinent. That's the rise of the theological jurisprudence. We are witnessing it in Pakistan, where just for merely saying something about blasphemy laws, 2 very prominent people have been shot dead, and their assassins have been celebrated publicly in society. Question is why? Why is the subcontinent suffering as this? I would say that's probably because Islam and Christianity is a proselytizing religion, and in fact theologically defends violence against non-believers. And therefore there can never be peace and stability in the subcontinent unless 2 fundamental changes take place. First is that the Christians and Muslims in India should accept that their ancestors are Hindus and they did not come from somewhere else. Recent research on DNA conducted in India and abroad establishes that the Indians have, right from north to south, the same DNA. Obviously, color of the skin is not a factor in race, because that's got to do with pigmentation. And this was vividly proved by Michael Jackson when he took out the pigmentation and his color changed to that of a European. So the first thing is that the Muslims and Christians of India and the subcontinent should accept that their ancestors are Hindus, and that there is a continuing civilization which can be called composite, but certainly it's a long history, and that should be accepted. And second thing, which is more difficult theologically, that all religions have their own paths to God, and they are equally to be respected. Both Islam and Christianity would find that very hard to accept. But unless that can happen, further destabilization is bound to take place in the subcontinent, and it may also end up in religious war. This is my submission. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Swamy.